Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this VESL broadcast. I'm your host for tonight, Avery Giesman, and I'm joined by the lovely Ben Kincaid over here. We are here to bring you some lovely Super Smash Bros. Ultimate action. I could not be more excited for this. If you joined us last week, we were in the Metro region, and now moving on to the Foothills region. We're going to have 4 matches for you guys today, so quadruple the action here tonight, and it's exciting just to get into these matchups. Ben, talk to us a little bit about what we're going to be seeing tonight.
Yeah, I'm very excited for hopping over to the Foothills region here. We have 4 matchups, like you said. West Forsyth will be first up against the Yadkin here. Early college, these high schools getting ready to gear up for some heavy action. We have Carver and Mount Tabor. Mount Tabor again against Reynolds, and then Carver and West Forsyth again to cap off the evening for us today. Very excited to hop into some of these matches. Expecting some close competition. Of course, this is high school, so we don't really know what we're going to see, right, in terms of character selection, but I'd expect for some meta picks and also some off-meta picks to be kind of tossed in the mix there, so very excited to get into it.
Oh, for sure, Ben, and just to speak to your point earlier, I mean, about the learning opportunities that esports gives in this kind of league. I mean, this is a esports and STEM league, right? So, these players maybe not going to tournaments every week, but are getting a lot of valuable experience through a league like this where they can invest in learning technology and science, and that's a great opportunity they can then pursue in college as well. So to get those early opportunities in high school that they can transfer into their life if they do decide to go to college or into the workplace, that's a great opportunity for them. So I'm glad that Smash Bros, a game like this, is able to teach those valuable life skills. Yeah,
just like being around technology as a whole just allows you to learn so much about it. You can learn a lot of just the background of how things are made. A lot of these consoles, right? This is on the Nintendo Switch, right? So you can learn a little bit about kind of how this stuff sets up cords, setting up with a TV or a monitor, stuff like that, and really be able to transfer that into like these technology fields with these sciences and this technology and stuff like that. It's very nice to see, and also just socialization, right? Getting that communication on lock, right? Being able to unlock that communication between players, opponents, and then just being able to network and meet new people in these areas in the STEM field is really nice to see.
Yeah, working as a team is just such a valuable skill that we see in both traditional sports and esports. Yeah. These teams, although they're going to be competing, individually tonight, their set wins goes towards a team-based score. So if you're unfamiliar with the format that we're running tonight, it's going to be similar to collegiate tennis. If you've ever watched a collegiate tennis competition where your first player will play the other school's first player and then second player and so on. So although you're competing individually, your points contribute towards a team. If you win your set, you get a point towards your team. So yeah, the team dynamics are definitely still there, and that's one of the beautiful things about collegiate tennis and collegiate Smash Bros. Is that you have to all work together. Your players will end up wanting to teach each other different skills because all of your points and all your sets go towards the same pool. So it's really important that you're all on the same page. And I'm so excited to get into the first match here. West Forsyth versus Yadkin. We got Dark Pit versus Ike. Ben and I were talking before this match, and I know he's excited for some Dark Pit.
I love me some Dark Pit action, right? Getting that aerial off already. Pit does a really good job in the air, I feel. That's where a lot of that power of this character comes from. You can already see the combos, the chains trying to get put together here. Ike with a little bit of a dash, right? So Pit, he attacks very, very fast. Ike a little bit slower with the sword, but packs quite a punch due to that fact of that kind of slow attack speed that they do have. Pit attacks very fast, but does minimal percent damages at a time, right? That charge shot that you saw, that side B, being one of those abilities that do a lot of damage because it has that slow travel speed. So, but yeah, right now this Pit looking very, very good against this Ike.
Yeah, you described it perfectly, Ben. These characters can often be found as having similar strengths and weaknesses. Both these characters with those great aerial presence that they have. This Ike player already showing off how strong that jump in is from Ike, but this Dark Pit player showing just how strong the anti-airs are on Dark Pit. If you can catch the opponent jumping before their aerial comes out, they are going to take percent from that, and that's exactly what this Dark Pit has on lock so far. But one of these tools that we're seeing this Dark Pit use, as he does call out the jump there on the Ike, just as I was talking about, is that strong arrow, that move right there. That's going to be able to keep Ike at bay, and that's something that Ike doesn't have access to. He does have access to the dash and some great combos, some great aerials, but he doesn't have that distance like Dark Pit does.
Yeah, one thing I like about Pit as a character, right, is that recovery is super strong. You can cover a lot of distance, so being able to play off the map, knowing that that's in your back pocket in case something does go drastically wrong, you can get back to that ledge and get that grab and stay alive. As we see the side B again coming through the arrow as well, the edge block. And the arrow again is something you can kind of control, right? You can see it had a little bit of a curve downwards trying to find the edge block, but good response coming through from that Ike, getting back onto that map and finding that smash attack.
Yeah, as you can see, even though Ike only hit the Dark Pit with a recovery move there at 140, the strength of Ike showcasing there. If you hit any of your attacks really at Ike when the opponent is above 120, 130, they're going to go flying, and this Ike has a great idea with these platform combos that Nair can lead into so many different combos from Ike, and definitely has a great grasp of that, and we've been able to see that. And that's how Ike can take those early stocks. So Ike just having the strength and having the consistency as well, it's what makes both of these characters so great, is they both have those tools. And now Ike finding himself at 150 and has to recover again to the ledge, and the Dark Pit is going to snipe out the jump again off the ledge. Ike, a character that loves to jump, but again, Dark Pit, a character that can snuff that out beautifully.
Yep. Pit doing a great job at reading these movements and these angles that this Ike is trying to find, opting for that up air, just reading it really to perfection, that combo as well coming through, in the edge guard attempt coming through again with that arrow, just trying to get this poke damage. I love the way this Pit is playing, really playing this range and just stacking up a lot of percentages without really having to get themselves in too much danger. You see Ike there trying to bring the sword down to get those percentages higher on this Pit, but it's 2 stocks to 1 right now. 84% on this Pit, though 63 on the side of this Ike. It'll have to be a miracle play coming through from Ike, but we've seen that before because they can do so much damage with that massive sword that they have.
Yeah, and Ike's going for a lot of these big smash attacks, and when they're not hitting, the Pit is able to punish them beautifully, and another jump off the ledge is going to get up smashed once more. Fort Westford, I believe, is going to be on the Dark Pit here, and they are going to take game number 1 over Yadkin's Ike, and I was loving that gameplay there, Ben. The Dark Pit able to snuff out these jumps from Ike beautifully. When you're trying to get back from that ledge, Ike can be kind of a clunky character. Sure, you have that sword, but those sword swings, they come out rather slow, so you want to get up there with a more defensive option like jump, but if you're jumping too often off the ledge, you're going to get up smashed by Dark Pit, and when Dark Pit's just standing there charging it, I mean, if you run into it, that's going to be how Dark Pit's going to be able to net those early stocks. We don't think of Pit as a character that can net super early stocks, but those charged smash attacks are quite strong. Even we're seeing the Ike player trying to get some charged smash attacks themselves, but I mean, Ike's charged smash attacks a lot slower, a lot more committal, and when you're trying to make those comebacks, sometimes you have to go for those big plays, but when you're in a position like Dark Pit here is, when you have that strength of you being on the stage and your opponent not being, sometimes you can commit to those bigger moves, and when they land, you get the reward, but the punishment isn't as bad, and that's exactly what we saw there at the end of game 1.
Yeah, and even in the middle part of that matchup, right, Ike was finding a lot of good combos in the air and getting some chains put together, but with just Ike's attack speed not being as high as the Pit's able to readjust on the fly, even if they're not able to hit that first initial setup for those combos and kind of get back in the groove of things. Whereas Ike, like you said, has to have that commitment, as we will see a switch over to this Samus. So we have a little bit of the speed getting matched here on the side of Samus here, because I mean, they do a lot of damage as well, but there's a lot of movement potential with a character like this.
Yeah, definitely going to help out here in the movement department, and going to help out in the range department as well. Doesn't have to contest with Pit quite as much as Ike does, but Samus, another character that can be found jumping a lot, and we can see that at the beginning of this match. This Dark Pit definitely knows that the jumps are coming and can use that electroshock to go right through the missile and hit Samus. That's a great tool for breaking the zone, and the down air is going to come out as well. Samus having almost as exploitable recovery as Ike, only can go horizontal or straight vertical. None of those fancy angles like Pit has. So Pit able to line up the down air there. That spike is not easy to hit, Ben.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Pit with that recovery. You can play those edge guards off the map very, very easily because you know you have that safety to get back in time. That was beautifully played on the side of this Pit. Only 87%, still 1 stock available for them. The shield on that little shock blast there coming through from that Samus. I'd love to see some aerial attacks getting going, some of these chains to get connected onto this Pit, because Samus can do a lot of work very, very fast.
Yeah, I'm actually seeing a lot of these 2 pieces. Oh, another down air from the Dark Pitt, insane play again. The same spot, same down air. Beautifully play here from the main, and that's great to see. Again, calling out those recovery angles. But yeah, those two pieces are definitely coming out from the Samus, but we're finally going to find that kill on the neutral get up. That charge shot can linger there for quite a while, so great use there from Yadkin on the Samus. But yeah, I mean, those two pieces are coming out, but like you said, Ben, we're not seeing anything too finishing from the Samus yet. And speaking of finishing, that charge shot would have done nearly 50%. That down B, those shields can reflect those projectiles as well, and that's a great tool in Dark Pit's toolbox.
Yeah, the shields coming in clutch there, right? Defending a lot of that damage coming through. I like Samus trying to charge up these shots and do a lot of damage from range, but just unable. Dark Pit again, the main going for that edge down air, trying to find that spike, but Samus just barely able to avoid that one. And now the arrows coming out from this Pit from range, finding so much percentage onto the Samus yet again on the last stock, already at 105%. Still trying to find this range. The deflection almost connecting there onto Samus, but just barely able to stay alive.
Yeah, and when you have the lead, you're able to play this range game, right? When you have the lead, the opponent is forced to come with you. If the timer runs out in the top right, the person that's in the lead wins the match. So yep. Dark Pit has the pleasure here of being able to play that range. Samus does not. And as you try to get back onto the stage, you don't want to get low because this Dark Pit's been doing such a good job downing you. So you try to go high, and now Dark Pit's going to forward air you. It's a tricky spot for Samus out there, and there's a lot of mix-ups you have, but it's difficult when you got a Pit player like this. It's so aware of where you want to go and the options that you have to go for when you're at this kind of deficit. So those early edge guards are a big part of why Pitt's able to net these early kills and play a great game.
Yeah, that Pit, the main, doing a great job at reading the movements of the opposition, right? Able to pick up a lot of percentages just off of these guards and off of these arrows, knowing exactly where the opposition is going to try to set up to try to find these recoveries to get back onto this map. And we're able to put a lot of really good chain combos together in the air as well to get a lot of percentage very, very quickly, right? That I love watching Dark Pit. I feel like there's so much stuff you can do with that character that it's really, really fun to watch.
Dark Pit's so dynamic. You can see it in this match. You're able to play the range with the arrows. You're able to play anti-zoning with your shields. You're able to play rushdown with these big edge guards like Dark Pit is able to pull out. I mean, there's so many tools that Dark Pit has, and he has the range, he has the speed, he has the combos, he even has the kill confirms that we were able to we weren't able to see any like big kill confirms, but we were able to see the end part of the kill confirms with these big smash attacks and with these edge guards. That's where a lot of those combos lead into. And although the Samus player and the Ike player were able to find these two pieces, they were not able to find these smash attacks where the Dark Pit was. Dark Pit was able to find the smash attacks, and those can kill at like 100 or less, and then the Samus was able to get the damage, but not able to find those super early conversions or those kills when they needed them. So that was a difference maker in that match. But regardless, I mean, a great first match to start us off. Some solid Smash Bros, some great jump callouts. I always love to see that in this game. Jumping is such a fun tool to do because you want to land with your aerials. All these characters that we saw on our screen right now, they love to land with aerials. And whenever you're able to call them out with an early aerial to call out their falling with their aerials, that's going to be a strong game plan in any kind of competition.
Yeah, definitely being able to read your opponent is something that goes a long way, especially in a game with Super Smash, because if you can kind of anticipate and predict a lot of these movements and the moves that they want to try to chain together for these combos, and you are able to get out of them, you're able to then put combos together yourself and really go on a little bit of a counterattack. Even if you build up or take some percentage in some of these combos, if you're able to get out and then put a beating down in response of those combos coming out, especially we saw the Samus finding some of these aerial combos, but Pit just able to adjust fast enough to get out of them and then put stuff together themselves. As we do jump into the second set of this best of 3 for the squad, West Forsyth able to pick up that first one. Now we have Chris and Dakota here, Fox and Joker, two very, very fast characters.
Yeah, two very fast characters with a lot of tools at their disposal. Two very high-level characters, a lot of execution on these two boys. So I'm really excited to see these players pull out all the stops. We got West Forsyth up a game now that they won that first set, but now we have wiped clean to start this second best of 3. But if West Forsyth can take this one, then the series will be over. And it's a strong start for Chris the Joker, as Arsene is already on the board and Fox is already at kill percent. This is a very scary scenario. That blue bar above Joker, that's your Arsene meter, and Arsene is out to play. That forward smash doesn't take any prisoners, Ben.
Yeah, Dakota trying to get something going, dashing away from Arsene yet again. Those side smashes doing so much work for Chris here. Only 68% on this first stock. And that's just the pure speed that Joker has, able to maneuver this map. Has a really good chance of not chance, but really good ability to find ground and aerial combos with this character, especially when the Arsene is up and active for Joker. Does a whole lot of damage, 76%, and then ticking still on Dakota here, trying to just get back to this map. The side smash again coming through. Chris looking super strong.
Yeah, commanding start from Chris the Joker. You can see these combos coming to fruition to get the damage, and then the smash attacks coming to net the kill. That is Smash Bros. In a nutshell. If you can gain that damage with your quick aerials, with your quick tilts, like Chris is displaying right now, then you can land those smash attacks and they kill, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Those forward smashes to call out the side Bs from Dakota here, and you know, those initializes are great for coming into your opponent and starting combos, but if they're predictable, then Chris on the Joker is going to be able to beat those out every time with these strong Joker attacks. And yeah, there's just nowhere to go. You try to side B onto the top platform with that illusion, and you're going to get into big trouble. Fox with another exploitable recovery we're seeing here in Joker, one of the best characters in the game, destroying you for exploitable recoveries.
Yeah, Joker just really able to navigate. Chris doing a great job recognizing where these dashes and these up airs are, or aerials and recoveries are going to come out from this Fox, dodging a lot of that percentage and then just starting to put huge chains together with these arrows, especially with that Arsene up and available, doing so much percent damage and then finding those side smashes, just sealing the deal. It's really hard to play against really fast characters, but Chris just made it look very, very strong.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that's what you're talking about with knowing what the opponent's going to do, but at the end of the day, Fox is a really fast character. Sometimes you just need to make guesses. Sometimes you need to be in the position to be able to react to your opponent's options. If Fox is on top of you, you are in big trouble because it's hard to react to what he's going to do next. But the same works for Joker, another very fast character. I mean, when you get that Arsene meter out, one wrong mistake when you're up close and you can go flying. So yeah, although the side Bs are able to start up those combos very well, they're also a very exploitable option. And that's exactly what we're seeing from Chris in this match. He's able to line himself up to punish those side Bs. So I'm excited to see here if Dakota can change it up, maybe implement a couple more grabs, get on top of Chris without dashing in. That will be a key to winning this match, as both these players' advantage states look very strong. Let's see what happens here on FD. No more platforms to play with here.
Yeah, Dakota playing a lot more aggressive. I love to see that coming out of them here, just trying to get these chains put together, but Chris doing a good job at maneuvering around these hitboxes that Fox does have. Still building up a little bit of percentage here. The dash coming back through onto this platform. I believe, what, Final Destination, I think?
Yeah, this is Final Destination. Yeah, this is the only stage in the game that doesn't have any platforms.
Yeah.
So, you know, a great tool that Fox has on this stage is if you're trying to land on him, there's no platforms to retreat to. You have to land somewhere on this plane. So Fox and Joker can both make great utilization of that. As the Arsene comes out here at mid-percent, is a great time for Chris to get Arsene. And Fox is not a heavy character at all. Any smash attack or even some aerials will kill at this percent. So Dakota has to be extra careful with how he's going to start his approaches. You can see the guns come out for the first time from Chris. Joker's a character that can keep you at bay too with those mid-range guns, but a great utilization of Dakota of these up close fights, able to knock this Arsene out without dying. That is huge! A downer up smash as well, Ben.
Dakota just kicking it into another gear, able to avoid that Arsene for such a long time, avoiding this percentage getting built up. Now finding these aerial combos, 37% already coming through, but Arsene up and available again for this Joker. Like you said, 112% on this Fox. Not a heavy character, can easily be knocked out at this range, will be able to find that one is Chris, but Dakota looking super, super strong here in game number 2.
I love what I'm seeing from Dakota, able to get that Arsene off the table and then able to rack up a whole 60% and about to get this Arsene off the table too. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the avoidance of those smash attacks was so good that last stock from Dakota, able to live for so long and then to hit that down air up smash as well. Not a combo we saw from Dakota in the first game, but a potent kill confirm that Fox has in his arsenal, and it'll kill again at these low percents that Joker's already at. Fox, such a strong character, racking up damage, and then his crazy kill confirms, but he's not going to get them started if he gets hit by another forward smash. That's the potency of FD right there. You have to land somewhere on that flat plane, and Chris was right there where Fox wanted to land.
Yeah, Dakota just trying to find ground, but Chris doing a great job at defending those landing areas. Still has 117% built up here. This could be coming down to the last stock. Chris doing a great job at getting a lot of this percentage up before this last stock is brought out, if it is even brought out. The Arsene is up and available, 47% still on this Fox. Not insurmountable by any means for Chris to find. This smash will be able to find it, and you can see Fox, such a light character, 50% almost only on that Fox, but still able to find that smash is Chris. A very, very strong showing.
That was so unfortunate for Dakota. He actually had the exact correct idea. So Joker, when he does that bubble around himself, that's his counter move. If you hit him while he's doing that in Arsene mode, then he'll do this big attack where it does like a bunch more damage than you would have done if you hit the attack. And that's why Fox died at 47% there on FD, an insane death percentage. But what Dakota did there is he tried to do a charged smash attack. So he ran up and charged his smash attack to Joker, and he's like, I bet you're going to counter. Joker did counter. He tried to release a smash attack to kill Joker, but released it a little bit too early. And if you release too early into a counter, you are going to die for it. So I love the awareness from Dakota, the Fox player, in this game number 2. Looked so much better than game number 1. Able to get so much more going. I was really impressed with the adaptations there. Didn't do any bad dashes. Just, got juggled a little bit, which happens against Joker, and then a few unfortunate reflectors was the only ways that Joker was really able to net stocks. It was going to be big smash attacks the first game. Second game, it was those reflectors. So a little bit timing differences, and I think that was going to be a different game too.
Yeah, I love the adjustment that Dakota found here against Chris on this Joker. It looked super, super strong, just like you said. That counter coming through, that's my joy of playing sword characters, because you have that counter pretty much on everyone. And if you can time that right, it looks pretty sweet, and it does a lot of damage. That will be it for our first game here. West Forsyth able to bring home the win, advancing to 1-0. We will be right back, so don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you got some water, enjoyed your short break. We just watched some awesome Smash Bros, and the action is not yet over. I am back with my partner here, Ben Kincaid, and we are taking on Carver versus Mount Tabor. Yeah. Ben, I'm excited for our second matchup here.
Yeah, very excited to see these teams. We got to see these teams twice today, right? Tabor has another game right after this one, so very excited to see any adjustments that might come through from the squad here. But first things first, we did have our first game here, West Forsyth, able to bring home the 2-0 against Yadkin here earlier today. We will have Carver, Mount Tabor coming back up. Both teams also 0-0 here on the score line. West Forsyth will have another game later today to end the day here against Carver as well. So very excited to see kind of what comes through from possible adjustments from Carver and Mount Tabor, because they do have these two series that they are playing today, as well as West Forsyth at the end of the day. So very excited to jump into this next matchup and can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that's so exciting, Ben. I didn't even realize that we're going to get to see so many of the same schools again today. That's really exciting. Able to see the same players come out and play different players we saw earlier in the day, and we're like, how good do I think this player is? Well, let's compare them to this player. That's that's a really fun thing to do. So yeah, I mean, I've loved the level of play that we've seen thus far, and I just expect to get better and better. These teams playing their first match, Ben. I mean, what is that like when you load into your first game of Smash? Is it hard to be like? Is it hard to do the first game rather than like the fifth game of the series?
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of nerves right to the first game, as for any competition, traditional sports, esports, whatever you're doing, a presentation in class, you have a little bit of nerves racked up there. But once you get that first game under your belt and you kind of get used to your opponents and used to your characters and just kind of back online, right, playing this game, later on you do kind of settle in, you're kind of just disassociating everything else around you. Be like, all right, I'm going to be focused on this game and I'm going to try my very best. So you can be a little nervous to start, but it definitely calms down later on.
Yeah, and you know, you're in high school as well, so you're trying to deal with the end of your year in high school. I mean, you're almost done, and you're here to play some great Smash Bros alongside your studies. So let's get right into the action. Two characters that I have not yet casted on VESL, but two very exciting characters, Kazuya versus Young Link. And I know, Ben, you're a fan of Young Link, a very fast character, has some great explosive combos, and can keep Kazuya at bay, which will be a key against a big man who does very scary things.
Yeah, I mean, this Young Link already putting together a few combos here and there. MC not able to get close to this Young Link just yet. The boomerang coming through into these aerial attacks looking very strong. But as I say that, MC able to find a combo of their own. Kazuya, a very traditional fighting game character, right? From, I believe, Tekken is the game that they are from. So they do a lot of damage, and there's a lot of cool kind of mechanics and mobilities that you can do with this character. So always fun to see this one come out. And of course, I'm a big Link fan, right? We have a sword, we have a bow, we have a boomerang and a bomb. What else can you ask for in a character looking very, very strong right now as well?
You're going to need the whole toolbox to beat a character like Kazuya. This character is so strong, kills insanely early, and is able to rack up percentage like no one's business. But who's racking up percentage like no one's business is Pangy here from Mount Tabor. I mean, just look at these combos coming out. One thing that Young Link can struggle with, though, is finding the kill. Is going to get the up B. Kazuya is very heavy, but not quite going to live that one at 160. Off the map goes the Carver Kazuya, and this is a fine position for Kazuya. You are never down and out of it as Kazuya. You have great combos and great kill confirms, and any lead that Pangy gets, although it may be annoying and you are going to be down, you're never out. So if MC can find Electric here, it might just spell doom for Mount Tabor.
Yeah, and Pangy doing a really great job at playing this range with these bombs specifically. The placements, almost 100% connection rate coming through from these bombs. A few missed here and there, but still being able to play that range with this boomerang and with this arrow. We can see again, though, MC putting together a huge combo, 142% now onto this Young Link. It's going to be doing a lot of damage here. And the cool thing about Kazuya is that when you get to these higher percentages, as we do see the down B coming through from the Kazuya, they're able to find that kill.
Yeah, when you get to these higher percents as Kazuya, it's just so easy to find kills, and a Young Link down air is certainly going to find one as well. A lot of times, Young Link will have to find these projectile confirms, like arrow into up air or arrow into up B. But when you find a down air off the top like that, that's going to be a great source. Kazuya doesn't always have to do that. Sometimes your stray hits are just stronger. And the pogo combo coming out from Mount Tabor. I love that one myself, Ben. You bonk him twice with the down air. It does so much percent.
This Young Link playing very, very strong right now. Hasn't been hit on this second stock that they have. Well, as I say that, that's just one hit, by the way. 32% from this Kazuya does so much damage. 107% now built up. Kazuya going to be doing a lot of damage. The down B not connecting with this Link just yet, but Pongi able to find this area. If they can find these blocks, the arrow up in the air as well.
Yeah, this is such a scary spot, even for Young Link here. Has access to the Rage Drive on Kazuya, isn't going to do the input variant, so Young Link is going to live there. But yeah, when Kazuya gets past 100% and starts glowing red, you better watch out. He has access to his Rage Drive ability, which goes through shields. It even goes through most attacks. So if you throw out a willy-nilly attack and the Kazuya has that Rage Drive ability, you better be saying goodbye to your stock. And that stun move there on that side special as well is another potent tool in Kazuya's kit to net some early stocks. Young Link is counting his blessings here, living to 129. It's not something you see every day, especially when we're landing these big stun moves and another down air as well. Yeah, you got to watch out on the ground there when Young Link's in the air. Those aerials, especially that down air, can be a very strong landing option. If you're not ready for it, you're going to get gone off the top. Yeah,
and that Kazuya, with that percentage built up, you would think, oh, they're in a tough situation there. But if they were able to find that kill onto that Young Link and then put together a really strong combo, opening up that last stock, Kazuya was not out of that match by any means whatsoever.
You saw the forward smash do 32% right before that, and before that it's like one 10-hit combo does 40. It's like big plays can always come out from Kazuya, and you're like, man, these combos are so good. How does Kazuya lose? It's because Young Link is so much faster. You see these projectiles, you see this range come out from Young Link. It's like, how does Kazuya ever catch him? He's just like a little fly all over the place. What are you supposed to do? These characters, I love this matchup because it's such a polarizing matchup. Young Link has so different of strengths than Kazuya. It's so fun to see on this stage.
Yeah, and one thing that I liked about Link in Brawl, right, is because you had that chain grab. They took it away here in Ultimate and just gave him a faster, closer grab, but Young Link still has that chain grab, which I really like to see. So they have that kind of versatility with a little bit of range with that grab capability, as we will see a switch off of Kazuya over to the Sephiroth here. Very exciting.
I love this pick, Ben. I mean, this is going to give the Kazuya player a lot more range to work with. Now, instead of this tiny sword of Young Link trying to fight that with fists, you now fight it with a much longer sword. And one thing that Sephiroth has that Kazuya doesn't is the ability to edge guard Young Link. Young Link does have an exploitable recovery, and Kazuya can't always go off stage the way he wants to. Sephiroth, on the other hand, has that potent counter ability, where if Young Link has to up B at a certain angle, you put that counter right where he has to up B, and Young Link can explode. So I cannot wait to see if the Sephiroth knows what they're doing as far as edge guarding Young Link, because I think that would be exactly why they'd go for the Sephiroth pick.
Yeah, the Young Link already early on taking up some percentage here, but playing range yet again very, very well, finding those side smashes, 126% and counting on MC right now. Just trying to play this range with this long sword that Sephiroth does get to play with. The grab coming through there, the toss over to the side, the bombs, the range coming out yet again from this Young Link. Just trying to find this final smash attack. The down air will be the one to do it. First stock again over to this Young Link.
Yeah, you got to be careful when that Young Link is above you. Yeah, that down air has range, but you have more range as Sephiroth. If you can get underneath that Young Link and hit him with an up air or an up smash, you can keep that Young Link in the air. And on a big stage like Kalos, it can be difficult to land just like that. Pang you with that up smash following the landing of this Sephiroth. That is beautiful play right there, and just keeping the Sephiroth in disadvantage. Sephiroth can have trouble getting out of these spots and almost hits the boomerang forward air just off there. That would have been another stock for Carver. This Young Link is all over the place.
Yeah, and Pangy doing a great job at just utilizing everything that Young Link has to offer here. The grabs, the ranges with the bombs and the boomerangs, and then putting together these combos with this boomerang and forward air combo coming through. I love the mobility that Pangy is playing with this Young Link. Not afraid to get up close and personal, even with his high percentages. MC, though, surviving for quite a long time. The aerial just barely missing yet again. MC just barely able to avoid that one, but the grab coming through will seal the deal. A possible 3-stock coming through for this Young Link.
Yeah, and that's great Smash Bros there, Ben. I mean, another great combo coming out from Young Link. And unfortunate air dodge going to come out there from the Sephiroth, just under so much pressure. I definitely understand the air dodge there. You want to get out of that Young Link combo. And I want to just bring up a brief interaction there before that when the Young Link just ran up and grabbed Sephiroth. Whenever Young Link is landing on you, you want to hold shield. You don't get hit by that down air, right? Yep. Young Link was able to land there and grab Sephiroth and grabs beat shields, and then Young Link with that forward throw, able to take it on Kalos. I mean, that's one of the potencies of Young Link. You throw out these projectiles, you throw out these really, really fast attacks.
Yep.
All right, I have to shield. If I don't shield, I'm going to die. And then he grabs you, and he has a kill throw. That is why Young Link is such a good character. And when you're not able to keep this Young Link away from you with that big sword because he's always on top of you, or he's always too far away from you, one of the two, and that's how you fight sword characters. You either beat him up close, you beat him up from really far away.
Yep.
When you're not sure what's happening, I mean, that's when you start panicking and doing those air dodges off stage because you just want to be relieved of the pressure, but it's just too much. Young Link, such a fast character, so oppressive. Great stuff there from Carver. Great stuff.
Yeah, I loved seeing the Young Link put together a lot of these pretty advanced combos with that boomerang into that forward air and just playing that range super, super well. I like the switch over to the Sephiroth as well from MC, trying to play a little bit more of that range because Kazuya is so up close and personal, and Link was like, just stay away. Just stay back, and I'm just going to throw my boomerangs, my bombs, shoot my bow and arrow, and try to get just a lot of this chip damage and then go in for those boomerang aerials and try to find these up Bs as well with this Young Link. But yeah, a lot of good stuff coming through from both players, but Carver able to bring home that first set.
Yeah, I mean, big body with Kazuya, big body with Sephiroth. At the end of the day, it's going to be difficult to get away from Young Link. So I'm really impressed with Carver there. Mount Tabor, nothing to be ashamed of in that set. Definitely a high-level play there. Loved seeing the swap, and the execution there was not bad at all. So I'm excited to see what they bring out in this next match, knowing that the level of play from Carver is looking quite strong. Do they have another player like that for number 2? And if so, what can we bring to the table? And one of the things I love seeing brought to the table is Aegis. This Pyra and Mithra character is so good in the meta right now and does great into these more lower tier characters like Isabelle. So I'm excited to see if this Isabelle can bring something to the table to contest such a meta relevant character right now.
Yeah, we can already see Jam here just trying to play this distance with that Pyra. Now over to this Mithra character, has a lot more speed than Pyra when playing up close and personal, and is able to get a lot of these aerial combos. Does very, very good playing up in the sky. Pyra doing a great job as well, defending the edges and the air. As you can see, the switch already coming through. What was that, 3-4 aerials in a row, able to find that early KO there on to Kim.
I mean, incredible play here from Jam on the side of Carver. It's a scary position to be in if you're Mount Tabor. This Aegis is all over the place. Getting these sequences with Mithra, starting off with some great combos, and then switching over to the Pyra for the kill. That's a common sequence we see with this character. Get the damage with Mithra, get the kill with Pyra, and you can just see how difficult it is to get out of disadvantage versus this character. This Aegis is sharking right now, Ben. It is so difficult to land versus such big aerials. There's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, the down smash coming through as well, going up and then right back down into the heart of this Isabelle. Just unable to navigate through the speed and the power that Mithra and Pyra are able to exert, right? Because there's so much speed, so much damage being built up just by this one character, and then you switch and you're like, okay, this is a whole different moveset, a whole different play style that you have to try to adjust to very fast. The fishing rod trying to get a little bit of a bite there, a little bit of a catch, but nothing coming through just yet, again, with this Pyra edge guard coming through.
Yeah, I mean, the Carver spacing is just too good. If you play around this Isabelle's fishing rod, the Isabelle's slingshot, the Pyra has great range to deal with this, and a beautiful edge guard going to come out here as well. Yeah, nowhere to go there, no more helium in the balloons. And Jam and Carver are going to end that one with a clean 3-stock there. I mean, these Pyra edge guards are so potent. No hitbox on that Isabelle recovery. Gotta try to dip low like your Olimar or something. Try to avoid that big sword. Right. But let me tell you, it's a difficult game when the Pyra knows what they're doing.
Yeah, and they certainly did, right? Able to find an unbelievable aerial chain to start off this match, getting that Isabelle just so high with that Mithra swapping over. And the hitbox on that flame sword that Pyra does have, it does a lot of damage, and it covers a lot of space in the air.
It's a great time playing against Pyra and Mithra, because as soon as you get done with this speed demon that's all over the place, some of the best frame data in the game, some of the easiest sequences in the game, you dodge one aerial, my next aerial is so fast that by the time you air dodge, I'm hitting you with another one. And you're just in the air for what seemed like the entire game. And that's what that second stock we just saw. Even though it was Pyra, a lot of those situations were able to repeat themselves, where Isabel's just not able to land. And like you said, when you finally do land, now you still have to deal with this big range that is Pyra's sword, and the strength of it as well. Those moves push you off stage so easily, and then you have to deal with Pyra edge guarding you. I mean, what a strong character. I don't want to talk about characters all day, because GM clearly a very strong player and feels very confident in the Aegis, so he's going to go for a secondary pick here. Go down the tier list a bit onto Little Mac, which is quite a change of scenery, but honestly, this character is quite fast like Mithra and has a lot of really potent moves. Honestly, not the craziest difference in terms of the ground game. The biggest difference we're going to see is no longer that presence in the air.
Yeah, both of these characters, the Greninja and Little Mac, do a great job on the ground and are both very fast characters as well. Little Mac does a lot of damage. The grab coming through there from the Greninja, just trying to find some angles to build up some percentages. The one thing to note with Little Mac is that he builds up what's called the KO meter. And when that is built up, you do not want to get hit by that character at all, because that is pretty much a KO off rip. That
is the scariest position you can be in, Ben. You can see those bars filling up one more attack from Greninja or Little Mac, and that's going to be a shield break. That's going to be a free KO punch, Ben. Yeah, just going to let him sit there dizzy for a little bit. Nothing Greninja can do. That downwards angled forward smash from Little Mac does pop shields, and like we said, that KO punch is going to kill you instantly. Doesn't matter what character you're playing, and although Greninja is very fast, nowhere to go once your shield gets broken. Some beautiful plays here coming out from Carver. They're looking to finish this up.
Yeah, the substitute coming through from Kim. They're just trying to find some damage onto this Little Mac, but right now Jam is just playing this ground game so well. There's nothing that Kim can do right now against this Greninja, looking super strong on this Little Mac.
Yeah, you want to shield, but there's just nowhere to go. Those super armor smash attacks go through your attacks, and you have to deal with another KO punch now. You can't get rid of it for another few seconds. You have to just wait for Little Mac to mess up, and yeah, you're trying to punish those attacks on your shield, but Little Mac just reels too far back after those smash attacks, and that's going to be a second KO punch in one game. Carver going to take that one with a swift 2-0.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Little Mac there, and that was in fact Tabor, I believe. So I believe that evens up, I think, the scoreline, if I'm not mistaken right now. A little bit of an overlay mishap there. Yeah, we are tied 1-1 now with Tabor and with Carver here. So a great response coming through.
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited, Ben. Now we get a game number 3. Yeah, that was some great stuff from Mount Tabor. My apologies there. I mean, that Little Mac and Aegis player looking very strong. Glad to see them come out here and put to business, you know, some great gameplay. So, yeah, great patrol of the ground, great patrol of the air on that Aegis, great patrol off the ledge. I mean, that was some quality gameplay there. Got to see our fair share of KO punches. Not something you see every day, so very exciting to see that. And now we're heading to a game 3.
Yeah, I am very excited to see a game 3. We will see Kim here again coming through. This is going to be a K-Rule against Dark Pit.
Yeah, so although we're playing with the same tag here on Kim, I imagine this is 2 people playing from the same Switch. So this will be a third player here coming out on the K-Rule. But we are going to see another Dark Pit player. If you recall earlier in our broadcast, we commentated another Dark Pit player. So let's see if we can find similarities here onto this Dark player. We're seeing Dark Pit player. We're seeing those arrows come out, try to keep this K-Rule at bay. K-Rule, another character that can fight up close or keep a distance. A lot of different tools and a lot of gimmicks on this big crocodile.
Yeah, the Pit already trying to play this range. The Crown Boomerang coming through. The Cannonball as well. Just trying to find these edge guards. The deflection coming through. But the fun thing about K-Rule is that you can suck that Cannonball back into your gun and shoot it again, which is always fun to see if it gets deflected we can already see King K. Rool trying to get this edge guard working right now. 103 on the percent on this Dark Pit, but now just trying to put together some ground combos here. Some fast attacks coming through. A great job coming through from this Dark Pit. Now the edge guard coming through with the bow and arrow.
Yep, there's nowhere for K. Rool to go. Once you commit to that high propeller, the Dark Pit can just sit there and forward smash, and you have to fall right into it. You can see the potency of FD on this match, taking a bit of a taunt break. Fushijiro doesn't want to approach here. There's no real reason to. And Kim K just kind of holding their ground. But you see the potency of FD, especially on these landings. When you're trying to land on FD, there's nowhere to go but the ground. And you can see the Dark Pit player especially is making great use of catching these K. Rool's landings, because you don't want to go to the ledge as K. Rool. You want to land on the stage. But then Dark Pit's able to call you out with those smash attacks. So great stuff from the Dark Pit, able to both juggle and catch the landings. Such important skills in Smash Bros. As the K. Rool does it themselves. And we got another ledge trap here. Dark Pit reaching 160. So many moves here that K. Rool can kill you with, but the blunderbuss is not one of them.
175 built up on this Dark Pit, by the way. Dark Pit is not a heavy character by any means. Just not able to find these smash attacks is this K. Rool. Finds that grab and now just launches them off to the right side of that one. And you can see this King K. Rool only built up around 30% on that last stock. So it's still a pretty even game right now, but we can already see Dark Pit going to work again, finding these combos.
Yeah, wants to go high, doesn't want to deal with this ledge trap of Dark Pit, but landing on FD is going to be a difficult task as that propeller doesn't quite get you back to the stage, and that electroshock is going to seal the deal there on that edge guard. Great stuff from the Dark Pit player, and we're just trying to claw this back as K. Rool, but it's difficult to do so. You're a big body. You don't have any really big combos. You just have these stray hits, and yes, they deal a lot of damage, and yes, you live for a long time as K. Rool, but it's hard to make these comebacks against Dark Pit, who just has such a solid game plan, can play all aspects of the game, and you're still trying to land as this big crocodile, and Dark Pit is all over FD.
Yeah, the edge guards coming through from Dark Pit, able to find a lot of poke damage with these arrows as well. The copter, again, the side B connecting there from Dark Pit. A great showing again from yet another great Dark Pit player.
This is one of the biggest strengths of Dark Pit versus King K. Rool, and one of the toughest parts about playing King K. Rool in general is when you get off stage just how limited your options are. You know, you want to go high to avoid these edge guards from Dark Pit. You can see the arrows covering that low angle. You can see the electroshock to cover if you want to go like near the middle. Like K. Rool tried to go like near the middle that time. You got electroshock forward at 90 and died. Yep. So it's difficult to recover, and it's really difficult to land, and that's why K. Rool can struggle as a character. He has a lot of great strengths, but he has a lot of really big weaknesses, and we saw them displayed right here in this match. So great to see the Dark Pit make great use of their characters' tools and the weaknesses of K. Rool. That's why they were able to take that match, and they were able to hold their ground when they needed to, able to play patient neutral when they needed to, but able to make big plays happen when they needed to.
Yeah, and I believe that was game one of that final set, so we do get to see these players yet again. I'd be interested to see if they switch anything up. They will opt not to. It's going to be the King K. Rool again with this Dark Pit, trying to get these early damage percentages up already. 54% onto this Dark Pit.
Yeah, so it is 1-0 in this series, but 1-1 in the set count. So this could potentially be the last game if the Dark Pit from Mount Tabor can pull this one out. It's going to be a tall ask as the K. Rool is starting off strong here on FD once more, trying to call out some landing punishes of their own. If they can land that big K. Rool up smash like they just looked for, that'll certainly kill Dark Pit 90. But this is not a spot they want to be at. Goes just high enough to avoid the electroshock.
The side B does just miss, but that is the beauty of Dark Pit. You can go miss that one and have that huge recovery to get back to that ledge, but that King K. Rool doing a great job at reading the movements of that Dark Pit, able to find that smash again, possibly tying up this series. It's only the first stock, but right now this King K. Rool looking much, much better than that first game.
We're already seeing way more sequences, Ben. I mean, look at these connections from K. Rool. You get the background into the tilts. You get the great landing coverages. You're getting these nice two pieces. Almost finds the down air into the up smash. Tries to go for a remix there onto the back air. That might have landed if it was initiated a little bit later. But yeah, nonetheless, great damage here, and it's almost lapped the Dark Pit in stocks, and that up smash is exactly what I'm talking about, Ben. If you can get below your opponent in this game, you're in a great spot. You can rip up smash, you can rip up airs, and that's exactly what happened there again. FD, such a potent stage for catching landings, and we're seeing here in spades from both sides.
Yeah, King K. Rool doing a great job of playing patiently here, not getting too aggressive when they don't need to, and then also finding these edge guards that they weren't really able to in that earlier game. Pitt trying to get these edge guards going, that down air just barely missing on the helicopter coming through from King K. Rool here. A side B again, connecting, building up some percentages on to this Crocodile.
Ooh, yeah, just going high one too many times there. If you go high too much, then Dark Pit's going to start getting used to it. Going to start smash attacking you on those landings. Going to try the high recovery. Again, this should be an electroshock. No, goes for the forward smash. And although the down dash attack is going to trade with that one, you are going to live. You are heavy. K. Rool has that survivability. Finally goes for the drift there to the ledge. That's a great option you can do there as K. Rool. That's going to land you on stage safely, but that reflection on the cannonball is going to net the Dark Pit the stock there. That is always something you have to watch out for.
Yeah, only 51% built up on this Dark Pit. Might be able to bring this one back, but the combos coming through, the light attacks from this K. Rool connecting 78% now. Just trying to find these cannonball shots. Pit trying to get in the air, trying to get this K. Rool uncomfortable, but right now this K. Rool is just playing very, very well, very calm, very patient, waiting for their time to strike.
Yeah, you can see even when they're in a good position but getting their projectiles reflected, they don't give up space, and that's a great job. As you're going to hold down that space and net a dash tag there, we're going to a Game 3, and that's going to be the Game 3 of the series as well. One more game is going to decide this series, and that's so exciting because I love the adjustments we're seeing from the K. Rool this game, able to hold their space so much better. When they're throwing out those projectiles, they're not scared of them being reflected because they know they're in a good spot to throw them out. When the Dark Pit's landing, they know they're in a good spot to shark. And that's some great play there from the K. Rool. And when you're able to find your kill moves like that dash attack, they kill quite early onto characters like Dark Pit. So great stuff there from the K. Rool player, Kim. And I'm excited to see what they bring in Game 3. I hope the Dark Pit makes some adjustments here and we see a really close one.
Yeah, I really like the K. Rool's game plan. They were a little bit more patient. Like you said, keeping that space in their favor, forcing this Dark Pit to try to find these recoveries, and really playing that edge guard very, very well. While some of them did not connect fully, they still made Pitt have to go in predictable patterns that they were able to read off of and get those combos back in favor of that K. Rool, which was very, very good to see. Dark Pit looking very good in that first game. Now back over to that second game, K. Rool be able to bringing it back, and now a Game 3 to decide the series here against Mount Tabor and Carver. Very, very exciting to see.
All right, so we just got some interesting word that the Game 3 actually was a friendly, so, you know, doesn't actually count towards our series, and that's going to be a 2-0 for Carver.
Yeah.
So what that means is that the Aegis Little Mac player was from Carver.
Yeah.
Because them and the first player would have gotten a 2-0.
Yeah.
And then the third match was just played to get that third player the experience, I would say.
Yeah.
Which is great to see as well. I always love when the third player gets to play. Just a little confused on the overlay there. But I am excited that the gameplay that they were able to get onto the match. So, yeah, if that third player is looking for that experience, I would say that the neutral looked a lot better. Go back to the lab and work on the disadvantage state. Work on when you're allowed to recover high as K. Rool versus when you're allowed to go low. And that actually works for Dark Pit too. When are you allowed to go to the ledge from the side versus when you're allowed to go from the ledge from underneath. Because those two things can be big when you're trying to land on a stage like FD, where if you land in a wrong spot, you're getting smash attacked and you're dying at 80 for it.
Yep.
So the neutral looked a lot better. I would go back to the lab on the disadvantage state. That would be the only thing that I would gain from that friendly if they're looking for some helpful tips. But great to see that match from Carver. If you're ready, Ben, I'm ready to go into the next match.
I'm ready to hop right into it. We do have J Reynolds here against Mount Tabor yet again. We just did see them there falling to Carver, but maybe a little bit of some mid-game or post-game adjustments coming through into this next matchup would be very exciting to see. But I don't think we really saw anything bad from either side, right? Carver just played very, very well with their space. Yeah,
I'm excited to see the Isabel player again. Not able to play the game for a lot of the time versus this Pyramithra because she's just keeping you in the air and keeping you off stage. So I'm excited to see if this Isabel can start to get things going. If Mount Tabor can get the sequences going, get those space solidified with the slingshot, get those nice ledge traps with the Lloyd rocket and with the fishing rod. Isabel has a lot of tricky tools, and I can't wait to see how well they set up. But J Reynolds, a completely new opponent, another team that has yet to play a match yet. So another fresh team coming into the space. Who are they going to send out first? We will find out soon, but they're going to have to adapt on the fly.
Yeah, I'm excited to see kind of where this Isabel goes, right? Because we see Isabel and we have Villager, both from Animal Crossing. Walk me through kind of the differences of these characters, and do you prefer Isabel over Villager? Because I know they kind of have similar-ish kits. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, so neither of them are considered very good characters,
right,
but they do have very interesting strengths that a lot of other characters don't have in this game. They're one of the characters that seemingly have kept their kit from Smash 4, really interestingly, where they still try to play this game where the whole time they're just trying to keep you away.
Right.
Villager and Isabel never want to be on top of you, and that's so strange in this game because even the strongest zoning characters like Rob and like Pac-Man, they love boxing as well. They also love being on top of you, and that's why they're crazy good characters, because they can do both things. Villager and Isabel, they love their slingshot aerials. Both of them have the same forward air and back air where they just throw this slingshot and it's just an annoying little pellet that keeps you away, but it's deceptively strong if they hit you with the actual slingshot. But they do have some unique differences that we'll get into if we see that matchup. But the matchup on screen right now is Sora versus King K. Rool. And Ben, you might not know this, but this matchup is really hard for King K. Rool because Sora's counter can hit that propeller coming up if K. Rool recovers low. So
really?
That is an awful thing for K. Rool to have to deal with. You're going to have to go for some high recoveries. And with Sora's big jump, it's going to be exceedingly difficult if you end up off stage.
Yeah, walk me through a little bit of this Sora character, because I'm a little unfamiliar with the kit, because I see there's a lot of rotations through, I guess, elements that are being used by this character here. Walk me through kind of the game plan that you want to have with this character.
Yes, you can think of Sora as a like pseudo sword character where most of his moves are just swinging his Keyblade like it's a sword. But if you look above Sora, you see he does flip through Faraga, Thundaga, and Blizzaga, which are those elements that you were discussing. Faraga is going to be a little fireball that he throws out. He can throw out multiples of them. And then once he uses the Faraga, then he has to use Thundaga, which is his 3 lightning bolts that can strike down on the opponent. And then after he used that, he has to use Blizzaga, which is the move we just saw there, which froze the K. Rool off stage as they plummeted to their death. So now we're on the Thundaga as the Faraga was used. Don't be too confused. They're just like fun little spells that you can use to kind of annoy your opponent. But when you're using them in these ledge trapping phases like the Thundaga there, it can be difficult to navigate.
Yeah, and I love the mobility that this Sora does have. The K. Rool a little bit, so able to find that roll dodge there, getting behind, and the boxing glove coming out, able to secure that kill Thundaga out again. I like the look of that move. I think that looks very, very cool on your screen there, but Sora also able to get these aerial combos going yet again, the up B as well, finding these kills. And then we can see, again, another frozen crocodile falling off the right side of that stage. So being able to navigate where these recoveries, like you said, that being able to go high or low to that edge coming through from this K. Rool, the adjustment of finding when you can do that and when you can't will be nice to see.
Although Sora is a character with sword and great range, he also has deceptively amazing combos, and we're seeing the Sora player put that to use here as the K. Rool just is struggling to get a disadvantage, gets a 2-piece into the landing punish. That's great Smash Bros right there, and the K. Rool trying to land on these battlefield platforms, but the Sora is just all over the place. If you're not careful, Ben, this character can ladder you, he can bridge you. This character's combo game is so intense. At the top level, there's a lot of talk about this character having combos that can get you from like 0 to 80, and there's just nothing you can do about it. And we're seeing versions of those right here a lot easier on a big body like King K. Rool. And a lot of times it's like Mythra, where if you miss that first aerial, Sora can oftentimes just land a different aerial and you're still in the combo. Trying to land on him, a nightmare. And one of the biggest jump heights in the game, meaning he also doesn't get edge guarded very easily. He can get back from anywhere on the stage. Sora is going to be a very difficult character to beat here, and this Sora looks like they really know what they're doing.
Yeah, I like seeing that character because I'm a little inexperienced with that character, and a little bit of the newer ones as well with these DLCs that do come through. I think, there's 4 of them, I think, 4 or 5?
There's more recent ones, but there's like 10 or so from the last game. It's a lot.
Yeah, so seeing these new characters is really, really fun because the game styles change so much because you talked about these elements that come through, unlocking all these different abilities and these play styles that you can play, especially with these edge guards with these elements that you can play with, is really nice to see. And you can see the attack speed and just the pure quickness of Sora coming through, doing so much work. Again, the lightning coming through, the ice as well, the fire, just trying to find these edge guards onto this K. Rool. This Sora looking super, super strong, finding these combos and doing a great job of keeping K. Rool out of the center of this map.
Yeah, I love seeing the K. Rool go for more of these attacks when you're close to Sora. You don't want to be in disadvantage versus this character. You have to be the one that makes things happen as K. Rool, and the belly armor is going to go through the Sora dash there. That's a great tool that K. Rool has in his kit. A lot of his moves, if you hit him in the belly while he uses them, that they will armor through, and that up smash is not one of them, but a very strong attack that will catch Dark Pit, Sora, or Bowser. Anyone that lands on K. Rool, you will die to that up smash.
Yeah, K. Rool again having a nice adjustment, able to find that first kill, but again, that Sora able to find that aerial attack. I mean, K. Rool was around 160% there on that hit, so a little hard to survive that one when you're that far off from the center, but again, this KJ here on this Sora able to find a lot of these aerial combos coming through, trying to rack up the percentage yet again, but Kim K doing a great job of staying even right now with the Sora.
Yeah, gotta be careful in the disadvantage, and that's another ladder combo coming out from the Sora. That Keyblade has nice range and nice power. If you get DI crossed up just like that, it can kill even earlier than you may think. And now you're trying to recover high as K. Rool having access to the Thundaga as well. This is a tough spot. K. Rool is going to find their way out of it. Tries to get the up smash on the landing of the Sora as well, but able to land there is Sora. And now at mid percents, this is a big edge guard opportunity for the K. Rool. Going to land on the platform, but just too late on the up smash. This is a great opportunity for K. Rool. Going to get the Sora off the stage, hold down the ground in the center. The counter is going to come out, going to get dash attack for that, and end up Sora off stage again. You're not going to die off the stage from recovery. You're going to die from a move, and that blunderbuss is going to be one of them. Sora, like a mid-weight character, so K. Rool going to be able to clean that up at 130. This is going to be a tough spot to recover from. Going to go to the ledge. Not going to be able to get in position there for a counter.
Yeah, 87% still on this Crocodile, 99% now. Trying to just build it back up, but again, Sora playing this air very, very well. The crown coming back through, trying to find that up smash is the King K. Rool, dashing through, staying alive. This game right now could go either way, but the up smash coming through from Sora, able to seal the deal there. A very, very close game.
Yeah, that game was really close, Ben. And one of the things that the Sora just did slightly better than the K. Rool is just catching those landings. We saw that in the second stock, especially when you're trying to land as K. Rool and you're in the air. You're not expecting a character to be able to go from ground level all the way up to the ceiling and up air you. But Sora is one of the few characters in the game that can do that. So when you're not ready for that up air and you're just trying to land and the Sora knows where you're going to go, he can get to you very quickly and combo you for that and potentially get that stock at an early percent like 90. Or he can wait on the ground and get these big combos, just try to push you off stage. And now you're trying to recover as K. Rool versus Sora. Very difficult task. This Sora played amazingly. I love their combo game. I love their knowledge of the states of the game and what they have to do. But I love the adjustments from this K. Rool as well. Yep. We definitely saw some amazing landing punishes onto this Sora. We didn't see any more than one counter connect, which is very impressive because you can counter the projectiles, you can counter the recovery. That counter is so good versus K. Rool. So able to avoid that is great stuff as well. If you're able to find a few punishes on that counter and not just get a neutral win off that, but get an advantage state win off that, I think that was the thing that could have really turned that match around. Because when you're trying to just go tit for tat for Sora, it's going to be a difficult game.
Yeah, I love the adjustments, like you said, coming through from the K. Rool. We saw that happen in our earlier matchup, being able to adjust later on there against that pit. While it wasn't an actual match there, just a little friendly match there, trying to get some experience, it was nice to see that experience kind of transfer over into this Sora match, being able to kind of decide if you're going to go high, go low on these ledges, and then able to find these guards as well in the air, as we will hop into the next game. It's going to be Wiz and MC again. We saw MC play Kazuya, and I cannot...
And Sephiroth.
The Sephiroth was the other character here, so two very, very good characters coming out again. I'm a big Link fan, as we know. This is the older version, of course. This is not the young kid that we saw earlier on. This is the full-blown, I guess, adult. I don't know. Is he a teenager?
He is called Adult Link, but I don't know if he's like adult age. I don't play the Zelda games, but unfortunately is going to SD there, trying to up air through the stage. You can do that, but only if you're facing towards the stage. So MC getting a little caught there, perhaps not warmed up on the Link quite yet, but just started this match. Link, a character that, might be a lot clunkier than Young Link, but certainly makes up for it in the power. This character can get those straight hit aerials and kill much faster than Young Link can. And you still have those combos like boomerang into forward air, boomerang into up B, which you can see the up B is coming out there already. And you still have access to the up B out of shield as well. We haven't seen that option come out yet from the Link, but that can be a great tool if Mythra is pressuring your shield. And I'm hoping that we see these bomb edge guards come out from Link as well. That's something that he has that Young Link doesn't. Mythra, having a very exploitable recovery, you can throw that remote control bomb out there and blow it up as soon as she wants to come back.
Yeah, we finally see the Pyra coming out here, just trying to find this final smash, the damage, the up air coming through the guard as well. Able to just connect on these ones, falling again on that platform with a dash to the side, read beautifully by Wiz there, able to find that aerial attack yet again. Link having a tough time trying to find ground here. The spin to win coming through. Pyra able to find that second stock.
Yeah, and it's no easier landing on Aegis than it is landing on Young Link. I mean, it's difficult to land with these characters against such fast options. You see these up airs coming out from Pyra, and then you finally get away from the up air, and she has a side B ready for you. It's like, how are you going to get to the ground if she's just this fast? And finally going to be able to land there, get this Mythra into disadvantage, but going to recover high there, get out of danger. Yeah, this Link able to establish a bit of stage control here, but is not able to find one of these kills just yet. Gonna need one of those up Bs, gonna need a smash attack, but you're gonna need to get to the ground first, and it's so difficult. You gotta go to ledge, you gotta find a way to swing into this Mythra, because if you just continue to land on her, she's going to punish you hard.
Yeah, Mythra finding very good combos coming through the switch over to the Pyra. 85% on this Link on this final stock. Bomb up and available, will be thrown out, will just go wide. Wiz just able to jump over that one, not off the edge, not in any real danger there with that bomb coming through. Pyra just able to play the range a little bit with these kind of side sword throws. The spin in that little area there, controlling so much space, forcing Link to make a decision if they want to go up or just stand there. The up B again coming through from Wiz, and then that will be the side air able to connect yet again. Mythra and Pyra looking very, very strong.
Fantastic advantage state there from the Aegis player. Pyra Mythra here on Mount. Is that RJ Reynolds, I believe, has the Pyra player. So, yeah, great stuff from them. Yeah, MC not able to find these landings as Link. It's so difficult. Whenever you finally find the ground, that blazing end, that side B sword throw, it went through Link's arrow. You tried to hold that space with your arrow, but you get blazing ended for it, and that move can even kill. It's so tough to deal with. And then when you get hit by that move, now you're in the air against Pyra. You gotta try to land versus Pyra up air. What an awful time that is. You try to swing, Pyra's gonna beat you.
Yep.
You gotta try to air dodge and hope for the best, and just not able to find those landings in that game. So, MXC, a player that has gone 3 different characters now, is probably going to switch again if I had to guess. Not going to want to stay on this Link after that. Link has some great tools. An option you could go for is the Kazuya here. You have to try to make your hits count, and Kazuya is a character that makes his hits count. So if you're not going to be able to get out of this advantage state, you at least got to make your advantage state as potent as theirs is, and no better character does that than Kazuya Mishima. So if you're not going to be able to play that range game with Link, which is a difficult thing to do, I think the other option, like Kazuya, could work.
Yeah, I definitely expect to see a switch coming through. The Kazuya did not look bad, and it means we will see that. In fact, MXC going over to this Kazuya, just trying to get that percentage high, to just try to find those kill buttons to try to get this Pyra Mythra, or Mythra Pyra, either one works, out of the way, right?
But, I mean, the thing with this matchup is I don't know if this Kazuya player is familiar with the command grab that Kazuya has in his kit. But if they are, the command grab from Kazuya actually can potentially kill Pyra Mythra at 0%. That is such a potent tool in this matchup. Although Pyra Mythra have the speed and the range over Kazuya, that grab can somehow make this matchup like even at worst. And that's one thing that I've seen a lot from this character is sometimes you're not allowed to make mistakes as Aegis. And you might think that that's any character versus Kazuya, but it's especially true as Aegis because of that exploitable recovery and because of that command grab from Kazuya. So I really hope we see that in this match, especially here on Smashville. There's a lot of room to do it.
Yeah, MXC doing a great job of finding a lot of really good combos, and that laser beam from the eyes finding so much damage as well from range. 145 already on this Mythra Pyra, 43% on MXC. Just trying to find those last few touches for this first stock. Wiz trying to get aggressive towards the edge there, but again, that attack off of that ledge The shield coming up huge, able to keep them alive, but still 158. The grab coming through, that will be the kill in favor of MXC. First stock in favor of Mount Tabor.
Yeah, this is beautiful. This is exactly what I wanted to see. Although this advantage is tough here, you're going to have to land against Pyra again. Tries to go to the platform, but is going to be able to parry the up smash there. Got to be careful, gets caught dashing back. The forward smash is going to find the kill there. Yeah, landing is very difficult, but this is exactly what I wanted to see. The advantage states are now counting for Mount Tabor, able to find the first stock and able to find a great sequence here to open up the second. If you can make advantage states count, the disadvantage states aren't as bad.
Yeah, a huge combo coming through. A lot of percentage built up onto Wiz here. The Mithra Pyra in a little bit of trouble here. If MXC can find another combo, as they almost just did, just pushing them barely off of that ledge to possibly find that kill. But look at the range of that ability that this Mithra Pyra has. Can cover so much space with just very simple abilities. To switch over to the Pyra again. MXC, though, has hit that 100% mark. Will do so much damage, but the SD coming through from Wiz. And now the counterattack right off of Respawn. Able to even this one up 0% apiece, 1 stock apiece. Mount Tabor trying to stay alive.
Yeah, you got to be careful there when your opponent is invincible coming off of that Respawn platform. You love to swing when you're invincible, and that's exactly what happened there. Kazi getting caught there, but another 10-hit combo going to come out from Mount Tabor. Wiz got to be careful here, got to avoid that. Try to get a shield punish on that because it is quite laggy. So can they get something started here? Can they get a disadvantage state going? Because once their opponent is in that juggle position, they become a rock solid player. But you got to get them there first. And a great sequence here is going to net that for you. Going over to Pyra, exposes the air dodge, but goes for the blazing end, which means you don't have access to your sword attack. So not able to punish that landing. We're going to try to go high again. The up smash doesn't hit the Smashville platform. I can't believe it, Ben.
MXC just barely alive right now. Has that 100% tick again. Will be doing so much damage if they're able to find this combo. Will be able to kill if they get a grab here, most likely. The combo coming through, 76%. The grab, the smash, not quite. Yes, they will go out. MXC able to tie this one up. The Kazuya coming up clutch.
That's going to be that rage drive that I was talking about earlier, Ben. Such a potent kill option that is. Even when you're down as Kazuya, you are not out. Yeah. Pyra only at 75 there, and the heavier of the two Aegis members, and you're easily going to die there on Smashville from the Kazuya rage drive. If you can't keep this Kazuya in disadvantage state, like I said earlier, I feel like I'm saying it over and over, but it's so true. Kazuya makes his hits count. Yeah. And when you get hit by Kazuya, you know you got hit by Kazuya, and that's exactly what we saw there. Those sequences, whenever MXC was able to get something going, they were able to get a lot of percentage on the board, and that made those long disadvantage states where it's hard to land, that made them not as important. And that's exactly why I wanted to see the Kazuya switch, and I'm so happy that we're seeing exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, the Kazuya switch coming up huge, right? We mentioned about the damage that this character does. I feel like I can almost feel the punches hitting me through the screen, right? It does so much damage, this Kazuya. They will stick with it. The Mithra Pyra again for Wiz here coming through, just trying to find these percentages, but this Kazuya playing very good space, getting early damage with these laser beam eyes that they have.
Yeah, Ben, I want to mention something, and that's the stage choice. We are on FD again. It's got to be the stage of the night. So difficult to land on this stage, and I know why the Aegis would want to go here. It's because that disadvantage state has been so good for them. Whenever they were able to juggle this Kazuya, that's been going very well for them. But it gives Kazuya so much more access to combos, because when he doesn't have those platforms to mess them up, it's going to make this matchup even more volatile. It's what I was talking about before, but now it's amplified. So whoever gets their game plan is going to steamroll, and we're already seeing the Kazuya start off with theirs, and when they get in disadvantage state, they're taking so much damage. That's exactly that kind of volatility that we're talking about. Try to land, and you might just eat a Kazuya down air right here. Great edge guards coming out from MC. You're going to have to go high, but does get away.
Yeah, just barely able to avoid that combo again coming through from this Kazuya. The switch over to Pyra now. The down attack coming through, not able to connect. Wiz able to stay alive with 132% already on this Mithra Pyra, able to find that first stock. But now the kick coming through, doing so much damage. A fairly even game, only about 30% on MXC here, and now the combo coming through will even that one out surely. The grab as well, the slam, doing so much damage.
Does get out of the 10-hit combo early that time. Great adjustments there from Wiz. That combo is not true, so you can get out of it. So great stuff from them, able to press a button to get out of there. And calling out another one of these down air landings from MXC. You want to land with down air because you don't want to air dodge on FD, but if you call out the attack just like that, Pyra is able to punish you brutally for it. But the stun move going to come out, tries to get another 10-hit combo, going to shield it, but you can't shield the last part of the 10-hit combo. So Aegis is going to get hit there and find herself off stage, but up B will do it. Just drops the shield in time to get hit there, and Aegis and RJ Reynolds take the lead here.
Yeah, but again, the response coming through, not able to find that kill just yet, trying to find that up attack on this Kazuya, just unable to connect. Wiz still so low, 151%. This Kazuya does so much damage, but just unable to find that kill just yet. Wiz doing a great job at finding a lot of percentage here before they go down to their final stock.
This is such a scary spot. Like we said before, Kazuya's never out of it, but this disadvantage state is really hard on FD. Throws the Blazing End out early, means you're not going to have access to the sword attacks, but is going to be able to find the forward air there, and Kazuya is too far off stage, not going to be able to make it back there. RJ Reynolds are going to take that one, but some excellent gameplay there. I really love the stuff from both players. The adjustments were definitely made on both sides. FD just made it all the more volatile, and the player one that got their win condition, just like I said, able to keep that Kazuya in disadvantage state, he never gets to play the game. And that's exactly what you're trying to do when you take Kazuya to FD.
Yeah, and Kazuya, I thought surely we were going to go down to 1-to-1 stocks, but Mythra and Pyra just able to play that range and control so much space in that the ending towards that final stock. I think they had 165%. A sneeze from Kazuya would have knocked that Mythra and Pyra to another galaxy.
I can't think of many moves that Pyra Mythra would live there.
Right.
But it's hard to land one, right? You have the range of Mythra and Pyra, and you have the speed of Mythra. You have the frame data you have to deal with. You have to try to get down from the ground. You try to down air to try to get like a stray hit kind of kill, but then they shield it and forward smash you, and you die at 90. That's what happened in the first stock. It's a difficult game to play.
Yeah, and a great showing again coming through there from the squad. I love the adjustments again. The Kazuya looked very, very good in that second game, but just unable to seal the deal to force that third set there. So Mount Tabor will fall to 0-2 there. Reynolds able to pick up their first win, 1-0 now. RJ Reynolds looking very strong. We have one more matchup for you guys tonight. It's going to be Carver versus West Forsyth. Two teams that we've already seen, so very excited to see any adjustments coming through. Similar characters, maybe different characters. Very, very intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that matchup as well. I mean, like you said, Ben, I mean, two schools that we've already seen, so we're kind of familiar with what they could bring to the table. But again, these players are very adaptable. They love playing different characters. I found that a lot of players love playing different characters when they're learning the game. You got to try to find who clicks with you. Yeah. And when we're watching these, competitive series, you're used to seeing one, maybe two characters out of a player, but you're seeing a lot of different characters, a lot of experimentation. And oftentimes that's really critical to learning what works and what doesn't. So, like, maybe you take some of those ideas from your Kazuya that were working and you apply them to your Sephiroth, or you apply them to your Link. Because, what was happening is you're spending so much time in disadvantage, but your advantage state was going so well. So if you can play a character that has slightly better disadvantage state, then you can play your advantage and you might get a better result.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'd be down to jump right into this final game. Do we want a little bit of a break? Up to you, but I think we can keep the ball rolling. I
don't mind continuing the action. I mean, it's so exciting. I just want to keep going here with these high school players.
Yeah. Carver and West Forsyth both 1-0, so trying to stay undefeated are these two teams. West Forsyth we saw early on picking up the win earlier today in the first matchup. Carver winning that second matchup there against Tabor, now trying to stay undefeated against the other undefeated West Forsyth. So very exciting to see what might go on here in this next matchup.
Yeah, I mean, West Forsyth, remind me, is that the team with the Young Link player, I believe?
Yes, that was the Young Link.
Yeah, so the Young Link, and then with the Aegis Little Mac?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'm very excited for this matchup because now we've seen an Aegis player from both of these squads, and I'm really excited to see how that Young Link plays into that, because if we see something like a Young Link versus an Aegis matchup, that could be two very fast, very explosive characters that you're going to see who gets their advantage state going, and then disadvantage isn't going to last forever. It's going to be a lot of stage play and a lot of who can hold their space better, who can hold their ledge traps better, and that's going to be a big thing in these upcoming matchups is I want to see these ledge traps come to fruition. We've seen some great edge guards, and you're able to get those early kills off the stage. We're able to see these great combos into kills, these stray attacks into kills. What is going to be the big deal that, you know, nets you stocks? It can vary from game to game. And knowing all the different ways in which to earn stocks is so critical to win a Smash Bros. Match.
Yeah, I'd love to see this Young Link again, right? It's inspiring me to learn Young Link again. I've used to play that in Brawl, that adult Link, because they had that chain grab, but Young Link looks pretty darn good right now, especially in the hands of Pangy, playing very, very well. The Young Link and Little Mac are from Carver as well, actually, so would be very interesting to see if they bring those two out again and just keep on rolling with that combo, with that speed that they were able to play with in that second match.
So, yeah, I think West Forsyth, they would have the Dark Pit then as their one?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to see Dark Pit versus Young Link potentially. So I would be really excited about that matchup because that's one that Young Link can't play with his sword around because Dark Pit has him outranged. And you have those extra jumps to get those edge guards. But, yeah, what we're going to see is a Dark Pit versus Aegis. This is going to be the other matchup we were discussing. And, yeah, Aegis in a lot of ways can do things that Dark Pit does, but better. I mean, she has a lot of similar range, but her frame data is much better, and her kill power is crazy. And we almost saw a super early kill on Town and City with that power forward smash.
Yeah, I love that kind of laser beam that this Mithra can shoot out. It provides a lot of power with the edge guards, just with that range. But switching over to this Pirate again, just trying to rack up these smash attacks, trying to find this damage, to find this early kill. The up air coming through, now the guard coming through, the up B, the recovery coming through, not able to secure that kill just yet. But again, that metal arm coming through from Pit, able to do so much damage.
I already love what I'm seeing from both of these players. We can see Jam of going for these down air combos. If you can land these down airs at 70% or above, I mean, they just link into kills. But now that Dark Pit's in the advanced state, you can't land anywhere because this Dark Pit is just all over the map. It's tough to land. You want to land on an electroshock, you're not going to have a good time. Off the stage goes Mithra once more, and Town and City with those narrow horizontal blast zones. It's going to be difficult to live those kills off the side, but a downer into up smash, beautiful combo. Both of these characters having access to that exact same combo, downer to up smash, and it's very potent for getting those kills. That's something I haven't seen yet this series, and I'm very excited to see it here.
Yeah, the main with great patience, not falling into that up air coming through from that Pyra. Playing very, very patient. Still 148% onto this Pit. The swirling sword of death coming through from the Pyro there, able to find that edge guard and almost even this one up, about 50% HP onto this Mithra on the side of Carver.
One thing this Mithra player and this Aegis player loves doing is doing those side Bs when you're trying to land. And it's a great option because you don't have to be close in order to commit to it. And what happened to Dark Pit there was you tried to shield it, but the Blazing End hit you underneath your shields. That arrow's going to catch the jump, Ben! Amazing edgeguard from Dark Pit. Mithra, one of her main weaknesses is that when she goes for that side B and jumps into it, you hit her with that arrow, she doesn't get her jump back. Yep. So tries to side B again, but is just too low at that point. That is a clinical edgeguard here from Dark Pit, and the advantage state just keeps going.
Yeah, this Mithra Pyra jam has to come out of a jam, seemingly almost 2 full stocks to possibly just a half of the one remaining on this Mithra Pyra Pit. Doing such a good job at playing this range, getting so much poke damage with this arrow already built up 91%. This Pit playing super, super well, trying to find the arrow. The side B coming through will connect, and that'll seal that first game for Forsyth.
Wow, what excellent awareness there. Keeping the poke damage, just like you said, with those arrows, when you know that Aegis has to come to you, Aegis tries to throw out the Blazing End. Your arrow's not going to carry out Blazing End. It'll go right through that. And then Aegis doesn't have access to her swords. Now she's in a bad spot. So she wants to come in with like a landing aerial. You dash back, you electroshock her. It's on Town and City. It's going to kill. Beautiful sequence there from the Dark Pit. Knows exactly what he needs to do in order to seal that stock. And I expected that match to be a lot closer, but the Dark Pit just making the adjustments on the fly, able to cover all the options of this very fast, very hard to punish character. But, I mean, it's obviously very doable, and it's a great performance on both sides. I really love this gameplay.
Yeah, I'd expect to see the same characters be brought out again. The Pyra, the Mithra Pyra, the Aegis did not look bad whatsoever against this Pit. Pit just was able to outmaneuver and really play very, very patiently, especially with the kill on that second stock that we saw. That last second jump to dodge that up smash coming through from the Pyra there. We will actually see the switch over to this Little Mac on Jam here, trying to just outspeed this pit and play more on the ground.
Yeah, going to go for a more grounded game here. No more of those side Bs to catch the landings. Going to be much more honest here with the punches, and it's working out greatly now. I mean, if you never get down on the ground with Dark Pit, you're going to have some struggles. These smash attacks from Little Mac are so strong, and they have armor on them. And what that means is if you try to swing when Little Mac swings, his smash attack will go through your attack. And when Dark Pit has a lot of these options that are more multi-hit moves, that armor smash attack will just go right through it. And it'll go through your neutral getup as well, as we just saw. The smash attacks are coming out in fruition, and it's a great game plan, if I say so myself.
Yeah, Little Mac already building up that KO. Will connect. This is the first time we've seen the main have some trouble here today on this Dark Pit Jam. Doing so much damage. A possible 3-stock, 73% still in favor of this Little Mac. However, the arrows coming through now will connect 1-2, not the third. Patient on the approach coming through the KO, however, still back up and available. The side smash will come through from the main. Not a 3-stock, but a lot of work to do for this Dark Pit if they want to secure this win.
I love the adjustments, though, from the Dark Pit. You can already see the adjustments. You see waiting out the counters of the Little Mac. Oh, yeah, waiting out that counter as well. This is exactly what you want to see from the main. If you wait out these options from Little Mac, you're going to be able to punish them accordingly. And Little Mac, you can see this Little Mac wants to throw out options and wants to throw them out now. So if you just wait and see it, then you're going to be able to punish it accordingly, and that's exactly what the main is doing. If this Little Mac doesn't change up the game plan, it's going to be trouble because the main is figuring this out.
Yeah, I love the patience coming through from Dark Pit. The KO, however, will connect, and the power of a KO is unbelievable. Once that bar is built up, that's going to do a whole lot of damage. That was 2 KOs there in favor of that Little Mac there, able to secure that win, forcing a game 3 for this first set.
Yeah, wow. I mean, it's only the first set of this match, and that was an explosive one, to say the least. I mean, KO punch, crazy move. Little Mac has so many options when he has KO punch. A lot of players will hold it and just make you scared of it.
Right.
This Little Mac player, because he saw on a stage like Smashville, which is so small, Dark Pit was trying to land these arrows, try to knock the KO punch out of Little Mac, because once you gain KO punch, you have to wait a few seconds. Then if you hit Little Mac, he'll lose it. So you try to get that arrow to try to knock it out of Little Mac. But what would happen is the Little Mac would jump right over the arrow, and since it's on Smashville and you're so close to each other, you would be on top of Dark Pit. He tries to shoot another arrow, and by the time the second arrow comes out, you're already being KO punched.
Right.
And that happened twice in that set. So what I want to see from this Dark Pit is I want to see them know that that's coming out, go to a bigger stage here, like FD, keep that advantage state going, keep calling out those counters. You keep calling out this Little Mac for these smash attacks, for these counters, for these KO punches, you're going to have a good time. But I love Jam's game plan here. It's certainly very different from the Aegis, and it worked there in that game too, and it certainly can work again.
Yeah, the main trying to find these grab into aerial combos from this Dark Pit. Winning out so far early, unable to connect on that down air that Pit was looking for to possibly put this stock away, or at least bring it very, very close. We have a little bit of lag here. That's just the joy of online gaming. But right now, the main playing very, very strong. The KO, however, built up. Very, very dangerous spot to be in against this Little Mac.
Oh, goes for the aerial KO punch variant. That one's not going to kill you, but just going for that little bit of boost to get above Dark Pit. And you can see now the main playing with this airspace very well, making sure that you're not in that range of that Little Mac punches. Got to be careful here on this up B. That down smash can go right through the stage and hit you. Is it going to be able to get an edge guard on? Little Mac is certainly going to be able to. One of Little Mac's greatest weaknesses is his offstage gameplay, and the main showing off just why that is. Covering the high angle and then the low angle, trying to get a counter there to get back to the stage, but the main's not going to swing in that spot. And now the main just commanding this stage with these aerials, outranging Little Mac in spade. This is how you play versus Little Mac.
Yeah, the patience coming through from the main. Again, waiting again for that counter to wear off. 91% already on this Little Mac. The KO, however, still back up and available to be able to charge that one back, but will whiff it. And then the side smash coming through again. 3-1 now, a completely different game 3 than we saw from that game 2 for this Dark Pit.
Yeah, and you can see exactly what I was talking about with the KO punch. You know that he's going to jump in and use it, and if you can avoid it, then it is punishable. And yeah, again, I mean, these, it is more difficult to play online because you do get this lag. A lot of these players are playing from home without their wired connection, unfortunately. So that's just going to be a part of the competitive environment. But you got to do what you can to utilize it to your best abilities. As we see, going for these 2 frames, that can definitely be an option that's harder to hit online. So Dark Pit able to get back to this stage and able to patiently wait out this Little Mac. But again, the armor on those smash attacks is going to go right through your moves. And the KO punch could even this right back up. You got to be careful shielding. Okay, going to knock it out. That's so huge for the Dark Pit here.
Yeah, I was looking at that one. If some percentage was built up and a KO landed, it could be a 1-to-1 stock game here. Still in favor of that Dark Pit because of the percentage, but still a very winnable game for this Little Mac, trying to build up that KO punch again, but already back up to around 100 percentage on to this character. The grab coming through the edge guard with the arrow, not being able to connect with the side smash coming through from the main, able to make mid-game adjustments against this Little Mac and bring Forsyth the first set of this best of 3.
Yeah, that was good Smash Bros, Ben. I was really impressed with that. That is exactly how this game is played. Yep. Sometimes you lose game 1 and you're like, all right, I've got to try something completely different. Throw in the Little Mac. And we throw in the Little Mac and it goes really, really well. Your game plan, your gimmick as it's called, it works. And then your opponent adapts to it. And it's your job to either change, alter your gimmick to adapt to those adjustments, or it's your job to go back to your fundamental play and go back to something that's more consistent.
Yep.
So, that's the difficulty with going these worse characters like Little Mac, who have really strong options that if you don't know how to play against them, you're going to steamroll. But when you're waiting, like this Dark Pit player does, those counters are going to work less. Those jump-in KO punches are going to work less. When you're off stage, you're going to get edge-guarded because they're getting more used to your recovery patterns. You have way less of them as Little Mac. So it's a difficult character to play, but it can certainly work. And we're going to see Little Mac again, Ben. I did not expect this.
A Little Mac and then a K rule as well. No Young Link coming through from Carver here. Very interesting to see that, but I think they're just going to try to stick with this Little Mac and possibly a Young Link coming out a little bit later if they find themselves in a pickle to tie this one up. Right now, we can already see the KO up and available, but will be used to try to recover. Won't be able to get back to that ledge. Irvin with the K rule looking super strong early on.
Yeah, I mean, I assume the Young Link here being saved for the Game 3 scenario, getting another player some experience here. But this K rule is certainly not going to be someone to be trifled with. Going for the blunderbuss into the back air there. I love these 2 pieces from the K rule, trying to shark this Little Mac as well. It cannot be easy to land versus this character. And yeah, this K rule is all over the stage. This is definitely going to be a match you're going to want to have wanted the Little Mac out for, because this K roll is all over this stage right now.
Yeah, K rule again with another KO on to this Little Mac. 127 the percent built up onto this K rule. We'll have to opt for the little helicopter to stay in the game and on the map there with that little recovery. But so far, this K rule is looking super, super strong, and this Little Mac is struggling to try to find these angles and find control of this ground.
And you can see this Little Mac player is being very patient against K rule right now, and I love that from them. You can see the weights here, and unfortunately going to forward smash below the down smash, and that down smash is certainly going to take it. All right, that game was rough, but I did not mind what this Little Mac was doing. This Little Mac was actually playing quite well, and you might not think that from looking at the scoreline, but it is true, because they were waiting for a lot of these K rule options and just barely missing a lot of punishes. So if they continue into that next game with that same mentality, but just are a little more tight on their spacing, a little more shield happy whenever these K rule are going for the big moves and able to avoid those, this is going to be a much better game too. I really don't mind when I'm seeing this Little Mac. I love the patience, but this K rule is playing very fast, and you're going to have to adjust.
Yeah, the K rule playing very, very aggressive. I'd like to see from the Little Mac a little bit of some off the gas pedal with the KO usage, because it looked like it was used a little bit too early a few times, just trying to reposition on the map. If you're able to save that, find some combo against this KO, and then find that KO, that's what that game plan with that Little Mac is, because once you build up that bar, you have so much threat. But if it's being used so early, almost off rip as soon as you have it unlocked, it's hard to kind of bring that one back. Now so you switch over to this Korin. I like this character. I love to see that coming through. Does pretty well into this K rule. Walk me through a little bit of this matchup.
I love this swap, Ben. What this is going to give the Korin player, it's going to give them the range to punish those things that were hard to punish with Little Mac. And that's exactly what you want. you weren't landing those KO punches when you needed to, so you're going to go for a more consistent character like Corrin, and you're going to be able to juggle K. Rool a lot easier. You now have an air game, but unfortunately, that blunderbuss is going to find you off stage, not able to get down quite fast enough. But you do have an air game now, and Corrin is certainly capable of keeping this Croc in disadvantage forever. So you got to be careful if you're K. Rool. No lead is safe. This Corrin has a lot of tools at their disposal.
Yeah, but the first stock already coming through off of that Corrin. 101% onto Irvin now on this K. Rool, but you saw that blunderbuss, that edge guard coming up so clutch in favor of Carver here.
Oh, big landing punish. That up B, if you commit to it, you can't act until you land in the K. Rool. Knowing that, they're going to find a dash tackle. Oh, goes for the high recovery counter, but the Corrin player not swinging there. Very smart on their part. A lot of these counters coming out from King K. Rool, knowing they have the lead here, and Corrin has to be the one to initiate, but not going to be able to initiate with that. The back throw from K. Rool is so strong, and that pin from Corrin is something you definitely want in that spot, but if K. Rool shields it, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, the K. Rool looking super, super strong. Still 3 stocks to 0 yet again. Will they lose one? Rusher trying to get these combos set in stone with this Corrin, but just unable to stay on the map, constantly in the air, and the K. Rool playing with such a great edge guard. The side smash coming through in that aerial, winning that set again, looking super, super strong.
Yeah, that was just too good. I mean, you're covering the landings very well. You're covering the airspace super well. You're never in disadvantage. I mean, every time the Corrin would try to get something started, the K. Rool stopped attacking and started shielding. And then it's like, well, what am I supposed to do now? If I can't attack and I am in disadvantage every time I don't attack, I'm just going to lose. And that's exactly what we saw there. I mean, Corrin, a character that once you have the lead, you're able to keep it very well because of your range. When you don't have the lead, you have to get in there with your sword, make something happen. K. Rool able to react to those options, able to get that back throw for a nice, really early kill, able to get that forward air at the end there for a nice early gimp on the high recovery. And then the first stock able to catch you before you were even able to go for the low recovery with the blunderbuss. 3 very unique kill scenarios there, and that's exactly what I was talking about before the match. If you know all the ways you can net your stocks, it can be hard for the opponent to work around.
Yeah, and that does tie that one up 1-1. Carver able to bring that one back, forcing that set 3. Most likely going to see that young Link come out on the side of Carver. Very exciting. Yes, we will see it. Pongi saved for that anchor position. Chris as well on this Joker. 2 very, very fast characters again going at it.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this, Ben. Before we saw this Joker come out against another fast character, and it worked really well for this Joker. We saw it versus Dakota the Fox. So I'm really excited to see how they adapt to Young Link. Another fast character, but very different from Fox. Has these projectile combos and doesn't have to play up as close as Fox does. But you still have access to those big edge guards. You still have access to your amazing combos. And that's what Joker excels at, is just keeping your opponent in disadvantage. But Pongi loves to keep the space and keep you from getting stuff started, but it doesn't look like this Arsene Joker is going to let Pongi run away.
Yeah, Chris finding themselves a little bit of a high percentage there early on, but able to bring it back just a little bit, only 30% separating the two with this first stock. Pongi just trying to get these combos set in stone on this young Link. The boomerang coming through, the edge guard coming through as well, the side smash able to secure the kill, the first stock in favor of Carver here. This young Link looking just as good as they did in this first match today.
Yeah, you can see Chris try to activate the Rebels guard there. If Young Link hits him during that move, then he will charge Arsene meter very fast. So what Pongi did was wait for the Rebels guard to be over and then release the forward smash. And when Joker is out of that Rebels guard, going to take the full knockback of that forward smash, and it's going to die very, very early. So no Arsene to deal with for Pongi, but is going to have to deal with it now, but only at mid percents. This is when you want to see Arsene, because the more you hit Joker now, the less Arsene he has for your next stock, and that's really what Pongi is looking at.
Yeah, Pongi just trying to clean up the second stock as well. Chris now playing into the air with the down B coming through, the pogo stick, as we like to call it, from this young Link, able to connect and keep them alive in the game. The bomb as well plays up on that platform, forcing Chris to play lower, where these arrows, these volleys coming through from Pongi are able to connect and rack up even more percentages. Now getting to the air, unable to connect on that side aerial to find that kill. Chris still trying to build up that Arsene meter yet again, but Pongi playing with great space right now, great patience, not getting too overzealous. The grab now, Chris in the air, the side smash, able to connect, evening that one up at 2.
That was a really huge down smash from Chris there, because if you don't land that smash attack there, you're going to have a lot of trouble killing this youngling because you don't have access to Arsene yet. And so those big smash attacks are going to be the only ways you're going to be able to kill there. It is going to be able to Rebels Guard that smash attack and get you an Arsene here. This is a huge scenario for Chris. Can he find the downer? Goes for it, but youngling is able to get to the ledge first, but still in disadvantage. This is exactly what Joker needs to get back into this game. But a straight down air from Pongi is going to find its mark, and that's going to get him out of disadvantage. And another counter, that's going to be easily punished by downer. Chris has got to be careful with these counters against this youngling. He is just waiting them out.
Yeah, Chris had something going there with the Arsene unlocked, but Pongi opting to play patient, waiting that one out, and able to finish the deal with that down B coming through, or down air, excuse me. Is it down B? Yeah, I think it's down B.
Down air is the pogo stick.
Down air is the pogo stick.
Down B is going to be the Rebels Guard, and then the bomb from youngling.
Yeah, Pongi playing very, very well here. Chris on this last stock, just trying to even this one up in stock count. 2-1 in favor of Pongi here. Just trying to stay alive. The Arsene still unlocked. Now an edge guard possibly able to come through from Chris. Will be able to find that one, but not the KO just yet. But the recovery, Pongi being so far off that stage, very difficult for youngling to come back.
Yeah, accidentally going too high there on the up B, and a Joker dash attack is certainly going to spell doom there for youngling. That Joker dash attack is so good. You can see how much Chris wants to use that move as a burst option to get in on youngling, and that's because it catches youngling for wanting to run away. If you go in with a dash attack and youngling tries to run away from you, those legs reach so far and you're going to catch the opponent either way. But now at these high percents with only half meter, it's going to be very difficult for Chris to find this comeback without another Arsene. youngling is going to want to try to find this kill without giving it to Joker, and that's exactly what we're seeing here as we get another edge guard. Chris going to go low here, doesn't want to land on a youngling smash attack, and you can already see the down airs coming out. Pongi wants this kill and wants it now.
Yeah, Chris just trying to get that Arsene meter built up, very, very close to having that one unlocked, and could frankly even up this game given the percentages being so big. But the down air again from Pongi, able to find that pogo stick, able to find that first set win here, or first game win of this final set in favor of Carver.
Yeah, I mean, I think the adjustment is obvious, Ben. If you're going to win against this youngling player, you got to be able to avoid that down air. He loves getting those kills with that, and although he's able to find kills in other areas, that's been the one we've seen the most. Sometimes he'll shield a move in the down air, other times he'll just land with it. So that can be a very potent option to deal with. So some options for Joker there are going to be just let him land with it and shield and then try to punish, or land, make sure he down airs not on top of you, like get out of the way and then punish him. Right. And really useful tools for doing that. Joker dash attack, Joker counter. We haven't seen a Rebels Guard come out on those down airs, or an Arsene counter on those down airs. If you think that down air is strong when youngling uses it, imagine how strong it is when Joker reflects it. Yeah. So that can be a very powerful tool that Chris can use at his disposal alongside with the edge guards. We saw that in the second stock, able to catch that high recovery of youngling with dash attack. You can cover youngling going low as well with those potent back airs with the down airs. We almost saw a down air come out from Joker at 30% that would have netted him a kill against youngling. So those edge guards, those down air punishes, that's going to be what makes a difference here in game number 2. And it's going to try a different character to punish it properly. Pokemon Trainer, 3 different characters in one. Starting off with the Squirtle, the Light Turtle, who has a brilliant combo game, and it's going to be very hard for youngling to hit. So we'll see if Pongi can make some things happen when the hitbox is a lot smaller.
So walk me through this matchup with this young Link and this Pokemon Trainer. Like you say, Squirtle, a very light character, but there's also, I believe it's Ivysaur and Charizard as well. We move up the ladder, but on those different starter Pokemons for Gen 1 Pokemon. Yeah. So there's a lot of different game plans that you can have with this character. Do you expect to see the Squirtle doing a lot of the work and then switching over to this Ivysaur, over to this Charizard to try to finish this off?
That's the traditional method. The traditional method is that you rack up damage with Squirtle, you move over to Ivysaur for those mid percents because Ivysaur does great at ledge trapping and great at edge guarding and juggling, and then you switch over to Charizard because he has the strongest moves and can kill. That is the traditional method, and that is what we're seeing thus far. I think Ivysaur in particular does really well in this matchup because of what we talked about before with juggling Young Link. That up air is so good at keeping Young Link in the air, as we just saw there, but that down air came out just in time. If that up air from Ivysaur came out a little bit earlier, then Young Link would have been in a terrible spot. So Pongi going for a very risky option there, but it did pay off that time. And then, of course, the edge guards as well. The Ivysaur down air is a move that we talk about all the time in Smash Bros. As such a hard move to try to recover when it's on the other side of the screen. So when Young Link's trying to get that up B from low, you just go above them as Ivysaur and put them down into the ground with your little bloom on top of you. But getting Young Link off the stage is going to be the difficult part as Ivysaur, because he is really clunky compared to Squirtle. And you want a Razor Leaf to try to get some space, but Young Link's projectiles are way better than yours.
Yeah, the up air coming through as well, just trying to find these kills down air as a response to the Charizard. The side special coming through as well, able to secure that first stock on this Young Link, but still 136% back over to the Squirtle. Super, super light. So one side smash coming through from this Young Link will be able to find yet another stock. But Chris doing a good job at juggling this Young Link in the air, just trying to play the space, playing very, very patient, waiting for this Young Link to have those vulnerability positions available for them.
Yeah, I love these landing coverings with these shell dash moves here. It is quite safe as well if Young Link shields it, but it is going to be a little harder to juggle Young Link with Squirtle as opposed to Ivysaur, but this quickness is really nice. You can see how much more difficult it is for Pongi to hit Chris here with this Young Link when he's on the Squirtle. Although you're very light, it's going to be harder to hit you. And it is going to swap over the Ivysaur here, hoping they can get a juggle started, but going to swap over to Charizard, and that's going to save your life there on that up air. Going to get the Sour Spot. Going to call out the Flare Blitz that time, and that move is very punishable if it's shielded, and that's exactly what Pongi did there. It's a very powerful move, that Flare Blitz, that side special from Charizard. If you land it, your opponent will explode. If they shield it, you will explode, and that's exactly what happened there. Chris took a gamble, and Pongi is going to be the one walking away with the win there.
Yeah, Chris now has to come up huge with this Squirtle, trying to rack up a lot of percentage here, but again, that spin in place, that recovery ability that we often see from Young Link, able to disrupt a little bit of the aggression coming through from that Squirtle. Swapping now back over to this Charizard. A little bit of a heavier character, a little bit safer for this Pokemon trainer to try to avoid getting knocked out here, and as a result, losing the series for Forsyth.
Yeah, this is the last game. I mean, whoever takes this is going to take it all. And you could see just how difficult it is to get something going. That Flare Blitz even not going to do it from the whole way across the stage. Going for another downer. You got to avoid these downers. You know Pongi is looking for it. Another Flare Blitz is going to catch the running Young Link. It's hard to run and shield in this game. So if you get caught in your run, you can easily get caught into that Flare Blitz, but now is a very difficult spot. You don't want to switch to Squirtle, because now if you need to take this stock unhonestly, Ben. You need to go for some classic Charizard cheese, and Charizard certainly has it in spades. We might see something like a back throw back air or a back throw Flare Blitz. I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all to try to take this stock early, because if you swap off now, you better be winning neutral many times in a row, and that's going to be a difficult ask.
Yeah, Charizard trying to get aggressive in the air here, will be able to land the Flamethrower, but again, the arrows coming through from Pongi, the Boomerang as well, trying to get in the air, trying to find that side air for that kill. There's so much percentage built up on this Charizard, 51% on the side of this Young Link. If they're able to find that grab, that side throw into that Flare Blitz, like you say, will do so much work for Chris. Needs to try to stay alive. These grabs are coming up huge. The Flare Blitz might be able to find a kill here if they're able to land it. 75% onto this Link with the grab coming through. Now the edge guards are going to come through. The Flare Blitz won't be able to connect and won't be able to get them back onto the map. SD from Chris. Pongi able to squeak out with a win.
That was a fine spot for Chris. If you get a Charizard smash attack at that percent, Young Link will die. Yeah. I mean, what a comeback we saw there, but that is going to end the series. I mean, what a great one at that. I mean, Carver is going to be the one to come up on top there, winning 2-1. So now their record is going to be 2-0. Yeah. So yeah, I got a little bit confused there in my head. But yeah, Young Link, I mean, a great performance there from them. Great performance across the board today. I was really impressed with the Smash Bros we saw today. I thought that Charizard comeback certainly could have came. I mean, that's definitely a character that can make those big comebacks. But the percent deficit was a little too much that time. Those Flare Blitz were a bit too errant. You get caught under PS2, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and Pongi playing very, very patient with that final stock, not getting too aggressive, knowing the power that Charizard, that Flare Blitz does have in that back pocket, because it got pretty close there towards the end. I thought Chris might have been able to bring that one back, but that flare blitz just barely going under that ledge, not grabbing it. Very unfortunate, but like you said, Carver advancing to 2-0 now in the Foothills division. This is not the Metro region that we are used to casting here. So very exciting to see a lot of this competition coming through and a lot of high-level play from a lot of these players. Yeah, it's great to see. That is all we have for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in to the VSL broadcast. My name is Avery, and this is Ben, and we will see you guys next time for some more exciting Smash Bros. Action.